Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village nestled at the edge of a deep, green forest, there lived a woodcutter named Elian. Elian was a very poor man. His small cottage had a leaky roof, and his clothes were patched and worn. He lived with his loving wife, Mara. Life was not easy for them. Every morning, before the sun even rose, Elian would wake up to the sound of roosters crowing. But on this particular morning, the mood in the cottage was heavy. Mara opened the grain jar and turned it upside down. Not a single grain of rice fell out.
There's barely anything left, Elian. I don't know how we'll last the winter.
If we do not earn money today, we will have to sleep on empty stomachs tonight.
Do not be afraid, my dear. Today, I will go deeper into the forest.
With that promise, Elian picked up his axe. It was an old tool, made of rusty iron with a wooden handle that had been smoothed by years of hard work. He walked into the forest. The morning air was cool, and the birds were singing songs of joy. He walked past the tall oak trees and the whispering willows until he reached the banks of a wide, rushing river. Elian thought to himself. He found a large, dry tree trunk right by the riverbank. He rolled up his sleeves, spat on his hands for grip, and raised his axe high above his head. Chop! Chop! The sound of the axe hitting the wood echoed through the silent forest. Elian wiped the sweat from his forehead and swung again. But then disaster struck. His hands were sweaty, and the handle of the axe was slippery. On his next powerful swing, the axe slipped right out of his grip. Whoosh! Splash! Elian watched in horror as his only axe flew through the air and landed with a loud splash into the deep, fast-moving river. It sank immediately to the bottom.
No! No! Please, no! No! It was the only way I could feed my wife. We have no money to buy a new one. We are ruined. What will I do now?
But then, something magical happened. A strange golden glow started to rise from the depth dots suddenly. The water parted, and a beautiful woman rose from the waves. She was the goddess of the river. Her dress flowed like water. She looked at the crying woodcutter with kindness and asked,
My child, why are tears falling from your eyes?
Oh, spirit of the river! I have lost my iron axe. It slipped from my hands and fell into your waters.
I will help you.
With a graceful splash, she dove back into the water. Elian waited. A few moments later, the goddess re-emerged. In her hand, a magnificent axe made of pure, shining gold that sparkled in the sun. She said,
Is this the axe you lost?
No, Mother. That is a beautiful axe, but it is not mine. My axe is not made of gold.
The goddess smiled and dove into the water again. When she came back up, she was holding an axe made of shimmering silver. It glowed like the moonlight, she said.
Is this one yours?
Elian looked at the silver axe.
No, my axe is just a simple, rusty tool made of iron and wood.
I will help you.
For the third time, the goddess went down. When she surfaced, she held the old, worn-out iron axe. Elian's face lit up with pure joy. He reached out with both hands.
Yes! Yes! It's mine! My axe! Thank you, Mother.
Elian, you are a rare man. You had the chance to lie and become rich. I give you these 2 precious axes as a reward for your honesty.
Elian could not believe his luck. He thanked the goddess 1,000 times and ran back to the cottage.
I can't believe my luck! Thank you, Mother! To our new home, Mara.
It's perfect. Cheers.
That evening, there was a feast in his cottage. However, in the same village lived a neighbor named Gareth. Gareth was a lazy man who hated hard work. When he saw Aline buying new things, he spied on Aline through the window.
And then the river goddess appeared.
Her voice like flowing water.
She truly blessed this harvest.
We have more than enough now.
And heard the story of the river goddess. Ha, Gareth thought, his eyes narrowing with jealousy. He couldn't sleep all night, thinking about the gold he would get. The very next morning, Gareth grabbed his own iron axe and ran to the river. He stood by the edge and deliberately threw his axe into the middle of the river. Splash. As soon as the axe sank, Gareth sat down on the grass and started to act. He let out loud fake wails. Boo-hoo.
My axe! My precious axe!
And indeed, the river began to glow. The water parted, and the river goddess appeared once again.
What have you lost?
Gareth quickly put on his saddest face.
Oh, kind spirit, I was working so hard when my beloved axe slipped and fell into your deep waters.
The goddess stared at him for a moment, seeing the darkness in his heart.
Wait here.
The goddess returned holding the shining golden axe.
I found this. Is this the axe you lost?
Gareth's eyes popped out of his head. Yes, he shouted, reaching out his hands.
It's mine!
Suddenly, the sky turned dark. Thunder rumbled above, and the peaceful river turned wild. The goddess's face changed from kind to furious. Her voice boomed like thunder.
Foolish, greedy man. You lie to the face of a goddess? This is not your axe, and you know it.
Gareth trembled with fear.
Wait. No, I made a mistake. Just give me the gold one, please.
You tried to cheat with lies.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just give me back my old iron axe then. I need it.
The goddess looked at him with pity and sternness.
You lied for gold, so you have lost everything.
With that, the goddess vanished into the water. The river became quiet again. Gareth was left all alone on the muddy bank. He had no gold. He had no silver. And now, he didn't even have his own axe to work with. He had tried to trick his way to riches, and instead, he ended up with nothing. He walked back to the village with his head hung low in shame, while Aline and Mara lived happily ever after, proving that honesty truly is the greatest treasure of all.